Good early afternoon. How are you guys doing? Want to wish you a happy Sunday, happy August 1st, 2021. As you can tell in the background, we're at the house today, right? We had a grad party the last 24 hours. Great experience, a lot of fun. Daughter's getting ready to go to college. Today, I'm going to talk about driver assessment, driving performance. If you don't know, I'm a state certified instructor. I teach teens and adults. I have a YouTube channel called Driving with Miles. After I'm done, I hope you subscribe to the channel, share. Let's go ahead and get into it. There are 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 criteria that I'm going to talk about today to make you a better driver, to make you a safer driver. We're going to talk about knowledge on the road. We're going to talk about vehicle performance, vehicle control, I should say, awareness, and correctly executing the performed task when you're in the vehicle. Let's go ahead and get into it. Many young drivers, and what I mean by young, drivers with less than 10 years of experience. Many of these drivers lack the necessary skills to understand road signs. I'm going beyond just stop signs or yield signs. Pavement markings. That's one area as an instructor that I want to personally improve on and then help my students be successful. So pavement markings, road signs are extremely important. You have to know these, you have to understand them, and they can really save your life, okay? Let's talk about traffic laws, right of way, bicycles, pedestrians, 9/11 vehicles. Pedestrians always have the right of way, even though they may be walking on basically in the street. You as a driver, if you got to yield for them, yield the right of way and take your time. It's super important that you understand that they can pop out at any time. Rules of the right of way are also a challenge for beginning drivers because many times, and we're here in the United States, the right side of the road has the right of way. If 2 cars come together at the same time at an intersection, the car on the right has the right of way. If you hear some screams in the background, that's my daughter with her friends. She's got a bunch of people over here, so we keep it real. But also, the right of way can be given. You can't communicate to someone the right of way. You can wave them by. If you're not sure, I tell my students, you can give the person the right of way. You can communicate to them and tell them to come or stop or I'm going to go. So don't be scared to use your hands, right? Traffic laws. You need to understand about roundabouts. Traffic already in a roundabout has the right of way. If you're getting ready to enter, you have to yield to traffic in a roundabout. Let's continue on with driver abilities. We all are given different abilities, and that ability does show on the road. I've driven hundreds, if not thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of students in 21 years of driving. And assessments are important. Giving students valuable and honest information is what I always try to do to make sure students are successful. That's extremely important. Vehicle capabilities. Are we driving a Lamborghini? Are we driving a Bugatti? Are we driving a Ford Edge? Are we driving a Chevy Trax? Are we driving a Tesla? You need to understand the vehicle capabilities. Is it all-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive? All of those things do play a role in how the vehicle handles. Whether it's clear, and we're talking about weather, cloudy, snow, rain, and fog, okay? Do you understand the vehicle dynamics? Is it a heavier vehicle? Is a lighter vehicle? So a compact drives differently than a Ram 1500. A Ram 1500 drives differently than a small new Ford Bronco. Okay, each vehicle has strengths and weaknesses, and you as a beginning driver need to understand those strengths and weaknesses, let alone being able to control your car properly. Okay, let's talk about steering. Okay, this is a controversial topic. So we have a steering wheel. In North America, 99%, 90 to 99%, really it's about 88 to about 92% turn hand over hand into the turn hand over hand out. We know, just for teaching purposes, there's an airbag in the middle, so we're not trying to blow our thumbs off. In the UK and other places around the world, they teach hand to hand and then hand to hand out. Okay, so it varies on what governing body that you learn how to steer and how to turn. Also, palming the wheel, where you could lose control, or throwing it underhand. You could also lose control of your car that way. Let's continue. Speed adjustments. Are you in a neighborhood where the speed limit is 25, but there are a lot of kids out there? 17, 16, 15 is the speed I like to see my student drivers drive at. Oh, by the way, I'm a state certified instructor. I teach teens and adults. If you've ever already done so, subscribe to the channel, leave some comments. I'm very active in the community forum, and I have some big surprises coming soon. So speed control is super important. Are you on the expressway and the speed limit is 70, but the flow of the traffic is about 60 miles an hour or 55 because of heavy traffic or adverse weather conditions? You as a driver need to adjust your speed according to the conditions on the road. Okay. Do you know how to correctly steer? Are you oversteering, where you're throwing the car back and forth? You can lose control. Or are you scared to make that maneuver in an emergency situation? So all of those elements do play a role in what about the speed adjustment in the conditions on the road? That varies tremendously also. So you as a driver have to apply common sense and experience, but it's hard because you don't have experience to draw on because you're a new driver. Okay, let's talk about acceleration. Are you slamming that gas pedal? Are you gradually loading up the pedal and gradually increasing speed? Are you lifting your foot once you feel the car accelerate? That varies. I've seen students press the gas and then they get very scared and lift their foot off the gas pedal and the car settles back down. Are you slamming the brakes really hard? Good shoes to wear are Converse. I'm not sponsored by them, but those tend to be really good thin sole shoes. Some other deals may be coming out soon with the type of shoe that I'm thinking about, but more on that later. Let's talk about curves. You have to reduce your speed going into the curve, and you have to accelerate out. Here's a quick trivia for you. Make every attempt to forgive other drivers for their mistakes and be patient. True or false? If you're listening after this, comment, answer the question again, and I'll say it again. Make every attempt to forgive other drivers for their mistakes and be patient. True or false? Please reply in the comments and I'll shout you out. Let's continue talking about vehicle control. Turns. Are you overturning the wheel? I have a lot of beginning drivers, they shift their hands at a diagonal and they're overturned. You're upsetting the balance of the car, or they'll make the wheel small. You'll turn at a really short fashion or put their hands at the bottom and you'll lose control. So you want to have your hands at 9 and 3, 10 and 2, and comfortably turn hand over hand into the turn. And then once you're out of the turn, you turn hand over hand out. That is the preferred method when you're making a 90-degree turn. There are other methods to turning the wheel. That's a whole nother discussion. Let's continue. Let's talk about next, construction areas. You as a beginning driver need to understand how construction works. There are people out there working to make our roads beautiful and to make them safe. You want to reduce your speed. You want to take your time. You want to be patient in that situation to allow those workers to be safe. The max speed is 45 unless otherwise noted. So that is important. Let's also talk about bridges. Bridges are very dangerous, where you can be pushed or blown off the bridge, and you want to reduce speed because it is metal or wood, and traction can be compromised. Okay, you want to look ahead and not make really sharp steering movements. That is important. Railroad crossings, you can literally lose control. You're in your car, and some railroad grades are very bumpy, and then you would lose control. So that is important. Okay, let's talk about road surfaces. Are you driving on gravel? Are you driving on asphalt? Are you driving on cement? Are you driving on dirt? All of these road surfaces play into the role of vehicle control. Let's continue to talk about following distance. You want to have a minimum of 3 seconds. How do you find that? You pick a stationary object, 1001, 1002, 1003. I appreciate you. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.